Hey, this is Samm Henshaw and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Before we talk about music, I just want to dive in and talk about Pharrell.
Okay.
Um, 2 days in the studio with him, like that must have been incredible. And you know, I'm assuming that's something for the debut album.
Yeah. It was insane. I'm still like trying to process it myself. It was insane. Yeah, we've made some stuff for the new album. And honestly, I'm still just a little bit shocked that it happened. It was such a incredible experience being able to like watch him create, being able to take advice from him and just hear all this knowledge that he has of music. He definitely brought me out of my shell a bit as well. In terms of musically, I came away from what I was used to making, and that was just because he was like, dude, you know, let's try this and mesh it together. So yeah, he's insane, and yeah, he's incredible.
Now I know, like earlier in your career, you had big names that kind of checked you out and either brought you on tour or made those introductions with you. So how did this interaction with Pharrell kind of happen? Was he already a fan of your music? Was this someone that you've been trying to work with?
So the story I've heard.
So you don't even know.
I mean, literally, I got told that somehow a song that I had made for the album got played to him. Okay. It got through to him, and he was just like, he wants to work with me. And yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. Yeah, I thought it was like some overly complicated like label stuff, and they were like, "We need you to work with him," but no, apparently he just had the song and was like, "Cool, let's get in." So yeah, it's pretty insane.
That's incredible. So he brought you out of your shell to try new things. Like, how did he get to do that? I mean, how did he get you to feel comfortable trying these new things in the studio?
It was interesting. He walked in the room. We said hi, did all the pleasantries or whatever, and then we just sat down and he said, play me some of your music. I played him some stuff, and then we just had like a really long chat, and he was asking me all these questions about how I felt about certain things with my music, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go with a lot of it, and then he just kind of was like, okay, well, this is what I think you can do, and this is what I want to bring to the table. And yeah, he just said, excuse me, he was like, with my vocal, he said that he could hear it with something different and just felt that it could be pretty incredible. He looks ahead and he looks at things in a way that I've never considered looking at them. Right. So when he said it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. And then, but yeah, we tried it, and we've got two really, really great songs. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So after that session, I mean, did your mindset on your album change? Like, are you done with the album, or do you now want to continue trying new things because of what he started?
I wish I was done with the album. I've still got a couple more weeks to go in terms of the writing process. But yeah, I think it's definitely opened up my mind now to trying very different things. I did 2 EPs beforehand called The Sound Experiment, which gave me an excuse to just kind of do what I wanted. Right. So I think when I was working on this album, I was completely trying to take my head away from that. I didn't want to try anything that was like too different. It was just like, This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to go about it. But now that I've done this, my head's a little bit more open to trying new things. Not too different, because then I'm going to be working on album like 3 or 4 and all of that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely opened my mind to being open. Right.
Now you kind of touched base on the first 2 EPs, and they are different. Like it's interesting because listening to the first one, Sound Experiment, it made me like think if we had like John Legend and Gavin DeGraw come together and work on music. That was what I was listening to on the Sound Experiment. Yeah. So I know those are 2 completely different artists, but that
was the whole point of that EP, and that was my headspace at that time. It was like, I was listening to people like Gavin DeGraw and John Legend, amongst many other people. But yeah, my headspace was, I'm gonna make what I'm interested in at this point in time, and not try and focus on one sound, because I didn't really know what I wanted to be like genre wise or musically. So it was an excuse for me to just kind of make whatever I wanted.
Right.
And I listened to so much music at that time. I mean, I still listen to so much music, but my tastes were from like country to like hip hop and just such a wide spectrum. So yeah, when I approached that, it was very much, I'm just gonna do that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Now on Sound Experiment 1, you had one song that really stuck out to me, to the point that I pretty much replayed it like 5 times back to back.
Yeah.
And it was the unplugged version of Only One Would Be With You.
Yeah.
And I just loved that version more than the original, just because it was so simple, yet the message was like so deep.
Yeah.
How hard was it to create something so simple like that?
Not that hard. I'm not trying. Yeah, honestly, not trying to make it. It honestly was one of those. I was in uni, and my friend was making a beat, and he was like, "I need some chords to this beat," and so I just started playing, literally the chords that you hear in the song, and started singing some melodies, and then we went to do something, and that was still going through my head, and then we got back, and then I was kind of like really into it at this point. So I just started playing, started singing melodies, and everything that I was singing is literally what you end up hearing on the track. And then I think it's like the first part of the track. So up until like the second chorus. And then we got to and then I sent it to my manager. He was like, it needs a little more. So I was like, cool. So we went back and then pretty much did the same thing and got the bridge. And yeah, it was like the most natural. It was it, and we didn't try to. I didn't try to like tweak any lyrics. I think I'm tweaking lyrics now when I'm on stage. You know what I mean? So it's.
Are you tweaking, or are you just forgetting your lyrics since you have so much music?
I think it's a bit of both. Maybe more forgetting, but so yeah, like. It was so raw, so natural that I didn't need to. I wasn't forcing anything, and I think I kind of miss that I don't have to think. That feeling of not having to think about what you're doing and you just do it. Whereas now it's just a bit more like, oh, I got to get this right, and then what did it? Yeah, so
you're in your head too much now.
In my head, way too much. Yeah, my manager's just like we constantly talk about. He's like, just get out of your head, just do what you do, and yeah.
So as you move forward to your latest single, how does it feel? How different was it this time? Now that you got those 2 experiments out of the way, you didn't want to dabble on that again. So working on this track, and I think it was Josh Grant who you co-wrote with, and he also produced. How different was it this time?
A lot. Well, I'll be real with you. It was different in the sense of I had way more experience. I had way more musical knowledge. I had way more that I wanted to say, but I honestly feel how I felt when I made my first EP, in a sense of I was excited about music again. The music I was listening to at the time, I kind of went back there in terms of like hip hop and like the soul influences and the gospel influences and stuff. So yeah, I sonically just went back to that place. So it was more fun for me making the record, and it did feel quite natural actually making that song. We did it with Maverick Sabre as well, who's this incredible Maverick, this incredible British artist, and it just felt natural, and it felt right. We knew when we had done it, we were like, no, we like this, and we're gonna go with it.
Now, is this kind of like the new direction to the new album? Is this still kind of an experimental sound as you're coming into this new album?
No, it's definitely more the new sound. It's very, like I said, very hip hop influenced. People like, the old school Kanye stuff, like Mos Def, Lauryn Hill's Lauryn Hill's stuff, the Miseducation album. John Legend's early stuff as well. So yeah, I felt like I loved for me, the 2000 era was like my era for music. It was a great era for music, and that was like, I loved the warmth in music and the sound of stuff, and so early 90s, I mean late 90s, sorry, and 2000, that was sort of like that was my time. So yeah, that's all I kind of listened to when I was making this record, and just kind of so I've kind of gone back there a bit with the sound,
taking it back to the roots in a way.
back to the roots, but with like a lot of modern influences. I loved Anderson .Paak's Malibu album, so I was influenced by that.
Right.
Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, there was just so much influence that just kind of taken and absorbed that it just kind of, yeah, that's kind of what the sound is now. I think you'll hear those things in it. There's gospel influences as well, and
that was actually, those were your roots for you.
Yeah.
You came from the church, which is, I always like get excited when there's singers that come from the church, because for some reason, whenever they sing for the church, or just maybe it's just the way that they sing at church, their vocals are just insane. Like, you can basically try anything and just do it.
Yeah, I think there's the thing that I think that there is in church is that when you're at church singing, you're not singing. It's not for you.
Yeah.
It's for some. It's for God, and the passion is, when you truly believe in it, the passion's really there. And so I think that once you have that, you kind of just what's the word? It goes into everything else. Basically, it relates to everything else that you do. So when you approach, I think when I approach music now, music's more than just this thing. It is. I truly believe I've been blessed with a gift, and I'm grateful for the gift that I've been blessed with. And so every day it's kind of just like, thank you for this gift. So yeah.
Now, has there been any moments where you're going out or you're getting ready to perform and you don't feel that passion inside? And if so, how do you really cope with that? How do you still go out on stage?
I think most nights when you're on a tour, actually, you lose the passion just before you're about to go on. Me and my band always pray before we go on stage. But then when you're on, I think maybe by like the second song, I'm back into it. I'm back into it, and the whole process of touring can be quite, and gigging in general can be quite daunting, and can get very tiring and stuff. So I would say most times you lose the energy, but as soon as you get back on the stage and the crowd's feeling it, you suddenly start feeling it as well, and then you're in it. Yeah.
Right. Now, going back to church, like what was the main thing that you kind of feel it taught you, throughout those performances, and your dad was also like the reverend there. So it's like throughout all these like performances, like what do you think you picked up the most from that?
Loads of things. I mean, I learned stage presence, how to just stand in front of people, how to play in front of people, and how to engage as well. Okay. I mean, when it comes to church, it is quite a different thing, because you're, again, like I said, it's not about you. Right. So you're not engaging in a way where you are.
Where it's your fans.
It's not. You're not trying to get people to watch you, and that's not what it's about, and that's not what it should be about. But you are engaging with people, and so I think that's the similar thing that there is between that and performing. Right. But yeah, I feel like those were the things that I picked up from it, and those are the things. I mean, I still play at my dad's church now when I'm around. So, but it's you learn those things. But I also think it just humbles you as well, because it's not about you. So, yeah.
So with your dad being the reverend, like, was it hard for you to step out into the music world? Was it something that you kind of had to like talk to him about to make him feel okay about it? Did he want you to follow his like footsteps? Like, what was that like?
I don't think my dad's ever cared about me like becoming a reverend or a pastor or anything like that. My dad was an actor, so it was good from that perspective, because he understood, and he still understands. Right. I don't think we ever had. I mean, I think if he had it his way, he would have liked for me to have done worship and done that. Right. But he's cool, man. He doesn't. For him, his only thing is, as long as you're spreading a positive message, as long as you are doing what you're doing to help people and to change lives, and with your position and platform to help change lives and be an influence, a good influence. So yeah, as long as it's that, he's not fussed, and he's chilled.
That's awesome.
Chilled about it, yeah.
That's awesome. Now let's go back to this upcoming debut album. You know, as you're writing these songs for it, like, how do you feel like your writing is progressing, and are you doing a lot of this stuff on your own? Do you have a lot of co-writes? Just like this first single, you had 2 co-writes.
There's been a fair bit of co-writing on the project, which I love. I'd never used to like it. I always used to write on my own.
Yeah.
So, like, most of my first EP I wrote on my own. I worked with my friends on it, but I wrote on my own. But when I kind of stepped into the world of the collaboration,
Well, that just opened new doors.
I opened the doors to like something completely different, because it's like I can start an idea. I'm a good starter. I'm not a great finisher when it comes to music. So I would start an idea, but then I would like present it to someone that, you know, just heard something different, and they just give you something that you never would have thought of, and that's brilliant to me. And even with the Pharrell thing, like, you know, again, he's opened my ears and my mind and my eyes to this completely different thing that I never would have seen otherwise. So I personally love collaboration. Sometimes you have moments where people are contributing and you're just like, nah, I don't like that. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, I love it. So it's been cool collaborating with other people and allowing them to grab your stories and put them in ways that you wouldn't be able to do if it wasn't for them. So yeah, I'm loving doing it at the moment. Yeah.
What about as far as like producers? Like, is that the same thing? Like, are you working with Josh again for this album? Is there someone else that's like producing?
Yeah, no, I've been working with Josh for most of the album, but then I've had sessions with people like Samm, which have been great, and who else? DJ Khalil. There's a lot that I can't remember, but
DJ Khalil sounds familiar. I just don't know from what.
Yeah, he's done loads of stuff. I think he done a bunch of Eminem things.
Anything in your lane, like the kind of music that you're creating?
He was on the BJ Chicago Kid album.
Okay, that's why it sounds familiar. Okay, yeah.
He done some stuff on the Malibu album as well. Yeah, the Anderson .Paak Malibu one. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they're great. So, but yeah, it's when you work with people that have such a great ear and knowledge of music as well, it allows them to grab what you do and take it to like just another level and take it to, again, a place you would never have thought of. Yeah. So it's wicked. It's wicked working with producers as well, because me and Josh as well, we've got such a good relationship now. He's basically like my brother. We argue about things, we disagree on everything, but then when we come back to it, we're like, right, this is it. Yeah. And so he's been such a massive help on this record, and yeah.
Now, what can fans expect on this time around with this debut album? There's new sound. It's a new sound in a way, but as far as like your delivery and lyrics, or as far as your lyrics, like what can they expect?
I think I'd like to say it's a bit more lyrical. It's a step up in terms of my lyrical ability. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about more, let me say, important issues. Okay. They're important issues to me. It's a lot more personal actually as well. I've never been like that guy that was like, oh yeah, this went on in my life, so let me talk about it. So
you're really getting Gavin DeGraw on this.
Yeah, it's really personal at the moment. It's one of those things where I think because I was growing up so much. I mean, I've been working on this for like 2 years now, like 2 years, and yeah, I just had so many experiences whilst doing it. I've had so much life to live that it's allowed me to be able to see the world in a different way, see things that I feel like need to be spoken about, see things like even how does it feel, it's an example of that. It's me talking about love from a much wider perspective as opposed to romantic love or, you know, the long and short of it was I was getting frustrated with a lot of the stuff that I was seeing, and the fact that a lot of us tend to say that we love people and we want to show love, but our actions do not match with that. And so I was frustrated and I said, let's write about this. And that's what that's about. And so there's more stuff like that, but it dives a bit deeper into a lot more bigger issues. Yeah.
As you're getting more personal, was there a specific producer that kind of helped you open up that way? Or did you just feel comfortable enough to just do it with whoever you worked with?
I think it was just feeling comfortable with whoever I was working with. Probably mainly Josh, because he's the person I've worked with the most on the project, and he knows me the best, and I've spent most of my time with him. So if anything, he's been the best person to have those conversations with that then become songs. But also Sebastian Cole. I've worked with Sebastian Cole a lot, and he's incredible. I don't think I know anyone that can, if we're talking writers, I don't think there's another writer that can grab what I'm trying to say and literally write it the way I would sing it. He's a genius.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, those two are the people that I can speak pretty confidently on, that they kind of, know me and can get that out of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've been out here in LA for a little bit. Then you're heading back home. You have another show in London.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And, what else can we expect for this year? Like, can we expect the album this year? Or are you planning on releasing more singles before the album? Like, what is the plan?
There will be more music, definitely not an album this year. Just because I want to take my time with it, get it as right as I can.
Sound Experiment came out too fast, like between 1 and 2.
And to me that wasn't me being able to, like, we were touring during that, so I didn't feel like I was able to be as creative as I wanted to be. Whereas this project, it's been like just ideas after ideas after ideas, and just so this has been like the most creative I've been able to be in like a very long time, since like the first Sound Experiment. So so it's going to be a while, but there will be music just coming out slowly during the year. And we got a song coming pretty soon, and then shows and stuff.